Hello everyone, this is Stephanie, your CSA coach, and I'm back. I know this isn't our typical time that I hop on live. We just had to postpone it till Thursday because I got back late Tuesday night from vacation. So we are on week 10B of our CSA shares. Lots of great stuff in the shares this week that we'll talk about right now. No real announcements, just refer to the email that goes out on Monday for all the details of our share and any other important announcements. But we'll jump into the share and how to use each item and how to store each item. Lots of repeat items from last week. We have Swiss chard, rainbow Swiss chard, stored in a Debbie Meyer green bag in the refrigerator or a large Ziploc bag. Great, just sauteed as a side. You actually can eat it raw, but I prefer it cooked, just lightly cooked. I like to saute it with garlic and onion and serve it as a side. Swiss chard pairs really well with eggs. So that's an option also, just as a side with like fried eggs or scrambled eggs or in like a frittata or a quiche. You can also puree this and turn it into green cubes. So freeze those green cubes and then that can be added to smoothies. You can refer, if you're unsure how to cook Swiss chard, refer to our simple sauteed greens recipe and PDF. So two options there, but not like super easy to cook and super easy to use. So Swiss chard. We have romaine lettuce. Romaine lettuce is stored in the fridge in a Debbie Meyer green bag or a Ziploc bag. We are using ours tonight, so it's not even going in the fridge. I'm gonna clean it, wash it, and chop it up for a big salad tonight. Obviously makes a great base for any form of salad. Romaine can be chopped and put on top of tacos. The leaves can be used in sandwiches or on burgers or wraps and things like that. But obviously a great base. You can just simply dress the romaine as it is and serve it as a light side, or you can add a variety of the produce we get in our shares. So the cherry tomatoes, the peppers, the cucumbers, even the zucchini, thinly slice the onions we get. A lot of that can be added and you can do a larger salad. You can also make a salad board. So there's a salad board PDF on the hub. Take a look at that. It just makes a great way. It's just a different way to kind of serve salad versus a big, huge bowl. You can give, especially if you have little kids, you can give those, keep your ingredients separate and give options. Okay, you can add this. Here's my base. I can add lots of different things. So take a look at that if you haven't recently. So that's our romaine. We have basil. Yay to having basil back. Basil does not go in the refrigerator. So one of the very few herbs that does not like to be cold. So we're gonna take it and we're gonna put it in a glass of water. I will actually take that rubber band off just because I like the bunch to kind of spread out a little bit. And this will stay on my counter. Basil is great for pestos. So I have a pesto recipe that we just did this year, this season. There's also a pesto PDF that you can refer to. It pairs really well with our tomatoes also, so you can do like a caprese salad. There's somewhere on the website, I'm pretty sure there's a creamy basil dressing. Basil just is fresh and amazing to add to just about anything. It will discolor, so when you chop it, it will discolor, so don't chop it way ahead of time, or if you're gonna blend it like in a dressing, then you're fine. But if you're trying to serve like a nice, pretty caprese salad, add your basil right at the very end. So that's our basil. We have fingerling potatoes. So the recipe this week showcases potatoes. I had to work ahead, so it's using our new potatoes from 2 weeks ago, but fingerlings would work just like the red new potatoes that I used in the recipe. So interchangeable with lots of varieties of potato recipes. So anything you find on the blog, you can throw fingerlings in them. You're just gonna change up the flavor a tiny bit. Fingerlings are not cured, they're new potatoes for a reason. So anytime we call them a new potato, they're not cured and they need to be stored in the fridge. But these would make, they would be great in the potato wraps from this year. Great in the potato salad, the roasted, so it's a roasted potato salad instead of your normal boiled potatoes. It's amazing because it keeps those potatoes nice and crispy. So they would work in that. They would work in the potato wraps. There's a ton of recipes on the blog involving potatoes. So if you're getting bored of just having a side of potatoes or just grilling up potatoes, then take a look at the website. You can throw these into grill packets also. So those are our fingerlings stored in the fridge because they're uncured. We got to pick shishitos. So a pint, so the small container of shishitos. 1 in 5 or 1 in 10 shishitos tends to be spicy, but that's always fun in our house because I cook them or serve them however we're gonna eat them. And then it's funny when someone bites into a spicy one and they're like, oh, that one was really spicy. Sometimes we can go through a whole pint and no one gets a spicy one. And sometimes we have multiple spicy ones, so it's kind of fun. There are lots of recipes on the blogs for these, or on the website for these. I know there's pickled shishitos, there's grilled shishitos. You can throw them into stir fries, you can blister them. That's my favorite way. So high heat in a frying pan, get a nice sizzle going on and then throw them in there. That's my favorite way to serve them. But shishitos are easy to use. Stored in the fridge, either just like that or in a plastic bag. We got to pick cherry tomatoes, so it's the first of our cherry tomatoes. So a pint of those, we'll be seeing them probably over the course of the next few weeks. These get stored on the counter. So all of our tomatoes like to be room temperature. You don't typically store them in the fridge unless they're cut. So if you're turning them into a salad and you have a few hours before you're serving that salad, throw the salad into the fridge. If you use half of one of our large tomatoes, then throw that second half in the fridge. We tend to try to use everything all at once. So like if I'm using 1 tomato, I will use the whole tomato generally before. So they get a little, they aren't as flavorful if you throw them in the fridge. So those are our cherries, can be used for just about anything. We've got a lot of, there's salsa recipes, there's bruschetta recipes. The bruschetta is phenomenal. If you have not tried that, that recipe is fantastic. And we have a lot of ingredients that would work for that. What else? Tomatoes, we will just throw them on our salad tonight. Or I sometimes will eat a pint of cherry tomatoes on my way home from the farm. So they don't go bad in our house. We have the larger tomatoes, so heirlooms, and our reds, same deal, stored on the counter. Great to throw in salads, great to slice and throw on sandwiches. We, over the weekend, my youngest son and I are going away just for a few days, so I'm gonna do grilled cheese with fresh sourdough bread and the fresh tomato slices on that as one of our meals because he's not picky and doesn't care what I cook. So it'll be nice and easy. So they will go on sandwiches and wraps, and you can slice them up and use them in the bruschetta, and you can use them in the salsas, and you can just slice them and sprinkle a little sea salt on them and enjoy them as is. You can also freeze them and you can turn them into sauce. So I know we have, I'm pretty sure I have a roasted tomato sauce on the website. And I'm pretty sure I also have like roasted cherry tomatoes on the website. So again, if you're looking for different recipes, turn to that website for that. We finally have a watermelon. So you could choose a red or a yellow watermelon. I don't even remember what I grabbed. I just grabbed out of the bin. They are seedless, best stored right in the fridge. So I'm gonna throw this in the fridge after I finish this live, and we're gonna slice it up and have it as a snack after dinner. You can eat this just simply as a side, as a snack. It pairs really well with breakfast. I like to do fruit at breakfast or even as a side for lunch. So like pairs well with a yogurt or a cottage cheese or something like that. Or just simply eat if you're going to the pool or going on a picnic or gonna be outside. Slice it up, keep it nice and cold, and serve it. You can also grill it, and you can also throw it into salads. We don't ever really get that fancy. We just eat watermelon as watermelon. We have torpedo onions. Torpedo onions are stored just like this in the fridge in a Debbie Meyer green bag because they're nice and tall. The entire thing can be used. So the top is like a scallion. Chop it up, throw it on salad, throw it into stir fries, add it as seasoning, and anything you would use like a scallion with. The bottoms are your bulbs. They can be chopped up and just eaten like an onion. Anytime you would use any sort of onion, it's just a slightly different flavor. So I like to thinly slice these and throw them on salads. They would make a great addition to our bruschettas and our salsas. So we have a lot of ingredients for that. Otherwise, stir fries, sheet pan meals, grill packets would work for that. We have cucumbers. Cucumbers get stored in the fridge in the crisper drawer, eaten raw just as is, as a snack, added to salads. I'm pretty sure there's a cucumber salsa on the blog. I really need to go. It's been years since I've been creating these recipes, so I really need to go back and revisit a lot of them, but there's options there as well. I do know there's refrigerator pickles and there's a cucumber salad. So those two are definitely there. We have peppers, green bell peppers and Cubanelle peppers stored in the fridge in the crisper drawer, sliced up, eaten as a snack, added to salads, great for stir fries. Sheet pan meals. There's I think it's called a chicken fajita sheet pan meal. That recipe is delicious, and every now and then I throw that. It's nice and easy. I usually double it because I've got a family of 5 and boys that need lunches for the next day, so they will take that and serve it over rice as their lunch for the next day. We have summer squash. Lots of varieties of summer squash stored in the fridge in your crisper drawer. These can be eaten raw, they can be cooked, they can be pickled. So there's a summer squash ribbon pickle. They can be grilled. They can be spiralized and turn into like a noodle. So lots of options for these. You can also, if you have a lot of them or you still have some left over from last week, shred them up, throw them into, measure them out, throw them into a Ziploc bag and freeze them. That's a great addition to your winter chilies or to winter baked goods. Last but not least, we have an eggplant. Eggplant stored in the fridge in your crisper drawer, same as everything else. You can wrap it in a towel. You want to keep the moisture away from the eggplant to keep it nice and fresh. These can be grilled. They can be roasted. I love them grilled. I also love them fried. So simply fried as a side, like dipped in eggs and then in breadcrumbs. I use gluten-free breadcrumbs or sourdough breadcrumbs. Fry them up and then just serve them as a side or turn them into eggplant parm. You can air fry them. So that's what I mostly do. I don't really fry stuff anymore. Either that or I egg baste them and then dip them and throw them in the oven and bake them. So lots of options there. There's also an eggplant dip in the recipes if you haven't tried that. So that's it for this week. I will be back to my normal Tuesday at 3 p.m. for my live next week and for hopefully the rest of the CSA season. This was the only week that needed to be switched up. Please make sure if you have any questions to tag me in the Facebook post, and I will see you all again next Tuesday.